Let me be honest with you. I've been waiting for this moment since 2018. When Toby Fox dropped that first chapter of Deltarune on Halloween night, completely out of nowhere, I knew we were in for something special. But I had no idea just how deep this rabbit hole would go. 4 chapters in, and Deltarune has evolved from a charming Undertale spin-off into something entirely its own beast. Yesterday's release of chapters 3 and 4 marks a turning point, not just for the story, but for what this game represents in the indie RPG space. At $24.99 for the complete package, with the first 2 chapters still free as a demo, Deltarune delivers an experience that's both familiar and revolutionary. The first 2 chapters felt like elaborate proof of concepts. Don't get me wrong, they were brilliant proof of concepts. Chapter 1 introduced us to the dark world through Card Castle, a realm that felt like stepping into a child's imagination. The mechanics were solid, the characters endearing, and that trademark Toby Fox humor kept us grinning throughout. Chapter 2 expanded this formula beautifully. Queen's Cyber City wasn't just visually stunning, it introduced complexity to the ACT system that made every encounter feel like a puzzle worth solving. The choice between growing stronger through violence or building a more populated town through mercy became genuinely meaningful. Plus, who could forget that secret Snowgrave route? Still gives me chills thinking about it. But chapters 3 and 4, they're where everything changes. Chapter 3 completely subverts expectations. Instead of another explore new dark world, meet quirky characters, fight boss formula, we get something that feels like an intermission, but not in a bad way. It's deliberately paced, almost meditative. The combat takes a back seat to an incredible variety of minigames that range from trivia contests to full-blown rhythm sequences. That rhythm game section deserves special mention. Picture this, you're frantically hitting prompts while Ralsei's voice floats over the chaos, creating this oddly beautiful moment where you're too focused on not failing to fully appreciate what's happening. It's peak Deltarune, emotionally resonant and mechanically engaging at the same time. Chapter 4 flips the script again. Where Chapter 3 pulls back, Chapter 4 goes full throttle. The dark world here isn't whimsical, it's hostile. There are sections where you're navigating blind, relying on audio cues while something unseen stalks you through the darkness. It's genuinely unsettling in a way that earlier chapters never were. The presentation keeps evolving too. Most of Chapter 3 maintains that classic Deltarune aesthetic we love, but Chapter 4 experiments with lighting and atmosphere in ways that caught me completely off guard. There's a fountain opening sequence that looks nothing like previous games. Soft colors, different animation style, yet somehow still feels authentically Deltarune. And the music? God, the music. That piano scene in Chapter 4 hit me like a freight train. Chris sitting at the piano, playing a raw, imperfect version of Beginning. It's one of those moments that stick with you long after you've closed the game. The soundtrack throughout these chapters doesn't just complement the action, it elevates every emotional beat. Chris, Susie, and Ralsei have grown beyond their initial archetypes. What started as mysterious protagonist, class bully, and kind prince has developed into something much more complex. The chemistry between them feels earned now, built through shared experiences rather than narrative convenience. Susie's arc particularly shines. Her journey from reluctant participant to genuine friend never feels forced. There's a moment in Chapter 4 where she questions something that's been bothering her, and you can see how much she's changed since that first encounter in the supply closet. Ralsei, meanwhile, is clearly harboring secrets. His grip on information tightens as the chapters progress, and by Chapter 4, you start wondering if his kindness might be masking something deeper. It's character development through omission. What he doesn't say becomes as important as what he does. The new characters introduced in Chapters 3 and 4 aren't just quirky NPCs. They're people with genuine emotional weight. Without spoiling anything specific, I'll say this. Prepare to care about characters you meet for brief moments. Some of these encounters left me genuinely moved in ways I didn't expect from a pixel art RPG. Deltarune's greatest strength lies in its willingness to experiment. The TP system introduced in Chapter 1 has grown into something beautifully strategic. Sharing that resource pool between party members creates constant micro-decisions. Do I heal now or save for a powerful spell? Should I defend to build TP or risk taking damage? The introduction of climbing mechanics in Chapter 4 might seem minor, but it adds tension. When you're vulnerable mid-climb and something's chasing you, every second counts. It's a small addition that creates big moments. Chapter 3's minigame focus initially worried me. Would it feel like padding? Instead, it feels like celebration. Each game serves the narrative while being genuinely fun to play. The trivia sections reveal character details. The rhythm games build emotional moments, and the physical challenges, well, they're just a blast. The fact that many of these can be replayed later through a dedicated arcade room shows thoughtful design. It's not just content, it's replayable content that enhances the overall experience. After years of theories and speculation, Chapters 3 and 4 finally provide some concrete answers. But true to Deltarune's nature, every answer raises 3 new questions. The mystery isn't being solved, it's being revealed, layer by layer. What's fascinating is how the game handles this revelation. Earlier chapters felt like we were exploring at our own pace. Now, we're being guided somewhere specific. The story has taken control, and we're along for the ride whether we're ready or not. I won't spoil the major revelations, but I will say this. If you've been following the theories about Chris, the Dark Worlds, and that mysterious bunker, you're going to have a lot to think about. The game doesn't hand you answers on a silver platter, but it gives you enough pieces to start seeing the bigger picture. That moment when Chris rips out their soul, still haunting, still unexplained, still the key to everything we don't understand about this world. Running on PC, the game is butter smooth. Loading times are minimal, and I didn't encounter a single bug or glitch across all 4 chapters. For an indie production, the level of polish is remarkable. The save system deserves mention too. Multiple save slots, chapter selection, and even some quality-of-life improvements that weren't in the original free releases. It's clear that Toby Fox and his team have been listening to player feedback. At $24.99, you're getting roughly 15 to 20 hours of content across 4 chapters, with significant replayability thanks to different routes and hidden secrets. Compare that to most indie games at this price point, and Deltarune delivers exceptional value. The fact that Chapters 1 and 2 remain free as a demo is classy. You can try before you buy, and if you're already invested from the free chapters, the paid content delivers on every promise. Chapter 3's slower pace might frustrate players expecting constant action. While I appreciate the narrative breathing room, some sections do feel like they're testing your patience. It's intentional, the calm before the storm, but not everyone will appreciate the deliberate pacing. Chapter 4 introduces some genuinely challenging sections that might catch casual players off guard. The blind navigation sequences, while atmospheric, can be frustrating if you're not prepared for them. A difficulty option might have helped here. The variety in gameplay is mostly a strength, but occasionally it feels disjointed. Moving from Chapter 3's minigame focus to Chapter 4's hostile exploration can be jarring. It's thematically appropriate, but mechanically inconsistent. With Chapter 5, or maybe even more, still to come, Deltarune is reaching the halfway point of its planned story. This latest chapter feels like the end of Act 1. The setup is complete. And now we're heading into the meat of the narrative. The groundwork laid in these 4 chapters creates incredible potential for what's coming. Character relationships are complex, the mystery has proper depth, and the mechanical foundation is solid enough to support whatever wild ideas Toby Fox has planned. The alternate routes, hidden secrets, and character choices create genuine replay value. But more than that, Deltarune has fostered one of gaming's most dedicated communities. The theories, discussions, and shared discoveries enhance the experience beyond the game itself. Deltarune, Chapters 1-4, represent something special in modern gaming. It's a work that respects its audience's intelligence while delivering genuine emotional moments. The evolution from Chapter 1's charming introduction to Chapter 4's darker implications shows a creative team willing to take risks with their established formula. Is it perfect? No. The pacing issues and mechanical inconsistencies prevent it from achieving flawless execution. But perfection isn't the point. Growth is. Deltarune is a story about characters discovering themselves, and fittingly, it's a game discovering itself as well. For longtime fans, this is essential gaming. For newcomers, start with the free demo and prepare for something unlike anything else in the RPG space. Deltarune isn't just worth your time and money, it's worth your emotional investment. The dark world is calling. Are you ready to answer?